This is the control panel of your Daitsu LOGIK heat pump. It has no buttons at all, it's a touch screen, and you work it with your finger. And something worth knowing from the start, it has 3 different pages, and you need to know which one you're on. This is the home page, the one for everyday use. Along the top, the date and time, the mode it's running in, the outdoor temperature and the water temperature. And in the middle, the temperature you've asked for. Along the bottom there are 4 touch areas: the menu, switch over between cooling and heating, water heating, and on/off. The second page is the menu. You get there by touching the little house. Here you have the big clock and the 5 entries: function, parameter, view, commission, and general. And down on the right, the on/off switch. And the third one is the setting page, which comes up as a list. This is where things actually get changed. Look at the title, it says 1 of 4. The arrows on either side turn the page, because it doesn't all fit at once. And at the top you always have 2 ways out, the arrow to go back, and the house to jump straight to the menu. Let's start with the basics, switching on and off. On the menu page, touch the switch at the bottom right. When it reads OFF, the unit is stopped. Touch it and it goes to ON and turns green. It's running now. You can see it on the home page too. The on/off icon at the bottom right turns green when the unit is running. Now the mode, what you want the unit to do. You change it from the menu, in function, on the first line, where it says mode. You can choose space heating, space cooling or water heating. From the factory it comes set to heating. And if you have a hot water tank, you can also combine them, cooling plus hot water, or heating plus hot water. If you see the letters NA next to an option, it means your unit doesn't have that function. It's not a fault, that model simply doesn't have it. There's also a shortcut. On the home page, the second area along the bottom switches straight between cooling and heating. Now the temperature. On the home page, the minus and plus either side of the dial take it up and down. Now pay attention to this, because it catches a lot of people out. That temperature on the dial is not the room temperature, it's the leaving water temperature, the water going out to your underfloor heating or your radiators. That's why in heating you'll see high numbers, from 20 to 55 degrees, and in cooling low ones, from 7 to 25. Those are water degrees, not living room degrees. And if you're in water heating mode, then the dial really is the tank temperature, which you can set between 40 and 80 degrees. If you run out of hot water and you're in a hurry, there's fast hot water. It's in function, on the second line, fast hot water. Set it to on and the unit heats the tank as fast as it can. It's for a one-off, not to leave switched on. It leans on the electric heater and costs more to run. Quiet mode brings down the noise of the outdoor unit. It's in function, on the 5th line, quiet mode. Set it to on and that's it. And just below there's another setting, the quiet timer, so it comes on by itself at night and goes off in the morning. That way you don't have to remember. The weekly timer is one of the most useful things this panel has. When you go in you get the 7 days of the week, Monday to Sunday, in 2 columns. You touch the day you want and set it to valid, which means the program runs that day. Any day you leave on invalid does nothing. You can set up to 3 time periods per day. And when you're done, don't forget to touch save. If you don't, it won't stick. If you're going away for a few days, there's holiday mode. Set it to on and the unit ticks over on the minimum, just enough to keep the system from freezing while you're away. And now a function that isn't a luxury, it's about health: tank disinfection. It takes the tank up to a high temperature on a schedule, 1 day a week, so bacteria don't grow in the stored water. If you have a hot water tank, leave this switched on. If you can't find it on your system, it means your unit doesn't have a tank. The panel also has Wi-Fi and a phone app. It's called EWPE SMART, and from it you do the usual things: switch on, mode and temperature, wherever you are. When Wi-Fi is connected, you can see it at the top right of the menu page. 2 tips that make the panel last and save you a scare. First, the screen is very sensitive and responds to anything touching it, even a drop of water or a bit of dirt. Keep it clean and don't rest anything against it. And second, if you leave it alone, the backlight goes off after 5 minutes to save energy, and comes back as soon as you touch it. It isn't broken, it's resting. And finally, if the warning triangle comes up on the screen, the unit has detected a fault. Touch it and it will show you the code. Write that code down, switch the unit off and call us. With the code in front of us, we already know where to start before we leave. We are JSL Mallorca, Joaquin and Juan, in Mallorca since 1998. Heat pumps, underfloor heating, air conditioning, electrical work and plumbing. One thing so there are no surprises: we don't do emergency call-outs. We work by appointment, because we'd rather take our time and do the job properly. If your system hasn't been serviced in a while, now is a good time. Call us on +34 609 09 8902 or 656 82 7925. Write to info@jslorca.com. Quotes are free and with no obligation.